The Free Soul, Part 2. I was once traveling in the desert in India. I traveled for over a month and always found the most beautiful landscapes before me, beautiful lakes, and all that. One day I was very thirsty and I wanted to have a drink at one of these lakes. But when I approached that lake, it vanished. Immediately, with a blow, came into my brain the idea that this was a mirage about which I had read all my life, and then I remembered and smiled at my folly that for the last month all the beautiful landscapes and lakes I had been seeing were this mirage. But I could not distinguish them then. The next morning, I again began my march. There was the lake and the landscapes, but with it immediately came the idea this is a mirage. Once known, it has lost its power of illusion. So, this illusion of the universe will break one day. The whole of this will vanish, melt away. This is realization. Philosophy is no joke or talk. It has to be realized. This body will vanish, this earth and everything will vanish. This idea that I am the body or the mind will for some time vanish. Or if the karma is ended, it will disappear, never to come back. But if one part of the karma remains, then as the potter's wheel, after the potter has finished the pot, will sometimes go on from the past momentum. So this body, when the delusion has vanished altogether, will go on for some time. Again, this world will come. Men and women and animals will come, just as the mirage came the next day, but not with the same force. Along with it will come the idea that I know its nature now, and it will cause no bondage, no more pain, nor grief, nor misery. Whenever anything miserable will come, the mind will be able to say, I know you are a hallucination. When a man has reached that state, he is called Jivan Mukta, living free, free even while living. The aim and end in this life for the Janana Yogi is to become this Jivan Mukta, living free. He is Jivan Mukta who can live in this world without being attached. He is like the lotus leaves in water which are never wetted by the water. He is the highest of human beings, no, the highest of all beings, for he has realized his identity with the Absolute. He has realized that he is one with God. So long as you think you have the least difference from God, fear will seize you. But when you have known that you are He, that there is no difference, entirely no difference, that you are He, all of Him, and the whole of Him, all fear ceases. There, who sees whom, who worships whom, who talks to whom, who hears whom. Where one sees another, where one talks to another, where one hears another, that is little. Where none sees none, where none speaks to none, that is the highest, that is the great, that is the Brahman. Being that, you are always that. What will become of the world then? What good shall we do to the world? Such questions do not arise. What becomes of my gingerbread if I become old, says the baby. What becomes of my marbles if I grow? So I will not grow, says the boy. What will become of my dolls if I grow old, says the little child. It is the same question in connection with this world. It has no existence in the past, present, or future. If we have known the Atma as it is, if we have known that there is nothing else but this Atma, that everything else is but a dream with no existence in reality, then this world with its poverties, its miseries, its wickedness, and its goodness will cease to disturb us. If they do not exist, for whom and for what shall we take trouble? This is what the Janana Yogis teach. Therefore, dare to be free. Dare to go as far as your thought leads and dare to carry that out in your life. It is very hard to become a Janana. It is for the bravest and most daring who dare to smash all idols, not only intellectual but in the senses. This body is not I, it must go. All sorts of curious things may come out of this. A man stands up and says, I am not the body, therefore my headache must be cured. But where is the headache if not in this body? Let 1,000 headaches and 1,000 bodies come and go. What is that to me? I have neither birth nor death, father or mother. I never had friends or foes, I have none, because they are all I. I am my only friend and I am my only enemy. I am existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute. I am He, I am He. If in 1,000 bodies I am suffering from fever and other ills, in millions of bodies I am healthy. If in 1,000 bodies I am starving, in other 1,000 bodies I am feasting. If in thousands of bodies I am suffering misery, in thousands of bodies I am happy. Who shall blame whom, who praise whom? Whom to seek, whom to avoid? I seek none, nor avoid any, for I am all the universe. I praise myself, I blame myself, I suffer for myself, I am happy at my own will, I am free. This is the Janani, the brave and daring. Let the whole universe tumble down. He smiles and says it never existed. It was all a hallucination. He sees the universe tumble down. Where was it? Where has it gone? Before going into the practical part, we will take up one more intellectual question. So far, the logic is tremendously rigorous. If man reasons, there is no place for him to stand until he comes to this. But there is but one existence, that everything else is nothing. There is no other way left for rational mankind but to take this view. But how is it that what is infinite, ever perfect, ever blessed, existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, has come under these delusions? It is the same question that has been asked all the world over. In the vulgar form, the question becomes, how did sin come into this world? This is the most vulgar and sensuous form of the question, and the other is the most philosophic form, but the answer is the same. The same question has been asked in various grades and fashions, but in its lower form it finds no solution because the stories of apples and serpents and women do not give the explanation. In that state, the question is childish, and so is the answer. But the question has assumed very high proportions now. How did this illusion come? And the answer is as fine. The answer is that we cannot expect any answer to an impossible question. The very question is impossible in terms. You have no right to ask that question. Why? What is perfection? That which is beyond time, space, and causation, that is perfect. Then you ask how the perfect became imperfect. In logical language, the question may be put in this form. How did that which is beyond causation become caused? You contradict yourself. You first admit it is beyond causation and then ask what causes it. This question can only be asked within the limits of causation. As far as time and space and causation extend, so far can this question be asked. But beyond that, it will be nonsense to ask it because the question is illogical. Within time, space, and causation, it can never be answered, and what answer may lie beyond these limits can only be known when we have transcended them. Therefore, the wise will let this question rest. When a man is ill, he devotes himself to curing his disease without insisting that he must first learn how he came to have it.